It's taken 3 years to get to this point, but we now have a ceiling. I experimented with a different ceiling style. I used metal mini-orb sheeting and narrow light panels. We lived with this for over a year and it was very successful, so I'm going to roll it out over the rest of the kitchen. It's time to say goodbye to the cordon steel roof and the lights on tea tree stems. Here's the ingredients for my light panels: a sheet of ply and some rails. I just screwed the frame together and attached it to the plywood. I put a couple of shoulders on either side. I use a corded drill to cut the holes for the lights. It's easier to make several in one go. I don't think Rembrandt's got much to fear from me. But I'm pleased with them. These are offcuts from old drain pipes, and I snipped them into short sections. I cut slots in the tubes for the light fittings. Here's a batch after they've been cleaned. I've installed the sprung light fittings and now I just put the tubes over the top. I just ran a bead of glue around the edge to hold it in place. And voila! I installed the insulation and then fitted the lighting harness. I staple on some reflective bubble wrap and poked a hole for the wires. The lighting units are quite manageable on my own, so I just installed it onto the ceiling rails. I ordered sheets of mini-orb cut to the correct length, and then I brought them home on the back of the truck. I installed them onto the ceiling rails and then I pulled them into place. I slid in the second light panel behind the tin. I cut a beam slightly wider than the width of the tin, and then I notched it so it sits on the shoulder. I used a right angle bracket to stop anything from moving. This topic is covered in full detail in part 2 of the ebook How to Build an Off-Grid Shipping Container House. I installed R4 polyester bats into the gap above the tin. I used the broom to push them into place. And then I slid the panel into its final position. I bought some coloured button screws, and then I screwed the mini orb to the crossbeam. So before I show you the big reveal, I decided I'd tidy up the walls. So I finished the framing, I installed some paper, and then I put in the insulation. I put sheeting over the top. I always planned to have plenty of light, so I put a light over the freezer. I wanted to be able to read a newspaper or a book at any point in either of the containers. I think we've done that. We don't need the lights during the day, but here's what it looks like. For normal day-to-day living, we generally only have 2 or 3 banks on, so it doesn't use much electricity out of the battery. To see how I installed the ceiling rails, click on the video link. Press subscribe to follow more of our adventures, and please press the like button if you enjoyed this video. It helps the channel. For more information about the ebooks, please visit my website at buildshippingcontainerhouse.com.